Give me a minute and let's talk about whether or not it's time for the world to sever diplomatic relationships with Russia. Clearly, in a state of war as exists between Russia and Ukraine, all diplomacy has broken down. But Sharon Davies, our friend, one of the peeps, Sharon Davies, sent me a link to a petition in the UK right now. And she's tagged in this, so you can reach out to her for the link if you're a UK resident, that's calling on Parliament to sever diplomatic relationships with Russia. And it begs the question, should the world be considering severing diplomatic relationships with Russia? And to answer that question, I think that we should consider what the rules-based international order says about when a nation can be said to have committed crimes that would effectively surrender its own sovereignty, right? Like in the rules-based international order, what are the things that you can do as a country under which conditions it can be said you don't have the right to exist anymore as a country? And as I understand them, there are four such conditions. One is regular aggression against your neighbors and occupying their territories by force illegally, which Russia has clearly done. Violations of the Genocide Convention. Right now, Russia's looking at over 100,000 war crimes in Ukraine alone. That doesn't include what it did to Chechnya and Georgia and Afghanistan. The promotion of international terror. The extrajudicial killings, the assassinations of political opponents, whistleblowers, and former agents of the government on the territory of other nations. Not to mention the terror campaign that's being carried out daily against the citizens of the nation of Ukraine. And then finally, the fourth and final one of these is violations of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. And just this year, we saw Russia purportedly transfer nuclear weapons to Belarus, a clear violation of the Non-Proliferation Treaty to which it is a signatory. So that's 4 out of 4, baby. Any one of them is a cause for the international community to say you no longer exist as a nation. You can't be allowed. And Russia's guilty of all of them. So if you're a citizen of the UK, there's a petition in your nation right now. Contact Sharon Davies for the link. And you can sign that and let your parliamentarians know that it's time. It's time to say Russia's not a state. It's a state sponsor of terrorism, is what it is. And we shouldn't have anything to do with them because they don't buy into the basic principles of what it means to be a citizen of the world in the 21st century. They are bandits, robbers, thieves, thugs, terrorists. And you can't deal with these people. You can't do it. If you don't have such a petition in your country, maybe you should start it. Something to think about. So whether or not it's time to sever diplomatic ties with Russia is a question that every nation must ask itself. But I assure you, at this critical inflection point in history, there can be no neutrality on these issues. You have to pick a side. One of these is right, and one of these is wrong. And history will remember which side you chose.